Anti-Tigrayan rebels have claimed that dozens of people have been killed in a drone strike on a camp for civilians displaced by the brutal war in northern Ethiopia. This comes after the Ethiopian government announced recently that it was pardoning a number of high-profile political prisoners, including members of the rebel Tigray People Liberation Front, in a bid to promote national dialogue. Here is more.
The amnesty by the Ethiopian government has been welcomed by the international community as a possible way out of 14 months of brutal fighting between forces loyal to Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed and the rebel Tigray People's Liberation Front (TPLF). Friday's announcement followed a dramatic shift on the battlefield, with the rebels retreating to their Tigray stronghold at the end of December in the face of a military offensive that saw government forces retake a string of strategic towns that had been taken over by TPLF earlier.
The onus is on the state to discharge its primary responsibility to deliver fair and independent proceedings that address the full range of violations identified, not only isolated individual instances, and to take into consideration applicable command responsibility.
Although there has appeared to be a lull in fighting since, the rebels have accused the government of continuing to conduct deadly drone attacks on Tigray. TPLF spokesperson Getachew Reda said on Twitter that an attack on the camp in the northwestern town of Dedebit had claimed the lives of 56 innocent civilians. A senior official at the main hospital in Tigray's capital, Mekele, has said that the hospital in the town of Shire, where the victims were taken, had reported 55 people dead and 126 injured.
The humanitarian impact of the conflict is increasingly dramatic. Acute food insecurity now affects more than 9.4 million people in northern Ethiopia, according to OCHA. Within Tigray, 5.2 million people, that is roughly 90% of the population, are in need.
Earlier in the week, the United Nations said 3 Eritrean refugees, including 2 children, had been killed in an airstrike on Wednesday on a refugee camp in Tigray. While Friday's amnesty statement also spoke of national dialogue, it did not say if Abiy was considering any negotiations with the TPLF, the party that dominated politics for 3 decades until he took power in 2018, but is now considered a terrorist group by Addis Ababa. The amnesty coincided with a new peace mission to Ethiopia by U.S. envoy Jeffrey Feltman and was welcomed by the United Nations, the EU and the African Union, which has been spearheading efforts to end the conflict. Among those pardoned were prominent politicians rounded up after deadly protest that erupted in mid-2020 over the killing of Hachalu Hundessa, a popular Oromo singer and activist.
The risk of increasing hatred, violence and discrimination is very high and could escalate into generalized violence. This could have major implications not only for millions of people in Ethiopia, but also across the region.
The EU is expected to present a draft resolution later in the week, calling on the Council to create an international commission of human rights experts on Ethiopia to investigate a wide range of alleged violations and abuses by all sides in the conflict. Last month, a joint investigation by the UN Rights Office warned that possible war crimes and crimes against humanity had been committed by all sides during the Tigray conflict.